This is Adam.
And this is Greg.
Today we're doing a review about the movie The Room. We just watched it last night, so it's still fresh on our minds. Just wanted to start off by saying that it is a really bad movie, but it's bad to the point where it's good. What's your opinion on that?
I don't know. As much as it's bad, I think it's one of the best movies I've seen. It's probably going to be my favorite.
Yeah, I'd say it's my favorite movie too. It's one of the best movies I've ever watched. You know, just the comedy in it, but it's unintentional. So that makes it even funnier for us.
Yeah.
You know, the movie also has
Romantic.
a lot of romance,
Yeah.
It's got drama, it's got betrayal, and it's all a very real story about a man named John who's a successful banker who's hitting a little bit of a rough patch in terms of job and financial security.
His marriage.
Yeah. So he's engaged to Lisa.
Bitch.
She's a bitch. But she loves him and he loves her. But somewhere along the road something changes. And she ends up falling in love with John's best friend, Mark. Now, Mark is a very likable character in the beginning of the movie. He even tries to refuse Lisa when she invites him over,
Because he's my best friend.
but he eventually gives in to Lisa's seduction and he has sex with her, betraying Johnny
His best friend.
and setting off a chain of events that'll ultimately lead to Johnny's demise. This movie's been out for 20 years, so I'm not really worried about spoilers right now. But anyways, we'll get into the plot. So, where the fuck do we start?
I don't really know. Maybe we should start where,
Alright, so we got the part with Johnny.
Well, you know, Johnny, first thing you see is Johnny's that romantic character. He's that guy that you always wish you would be with. He's a buff guy. He makes a lot of money, and he always comes home and gives gifts to his wife. Like, you see
Yeah, he brings roses. He lets the lady at the rose shop keep the change. He has a job. He's hardworking. He's muscular. He has long hair. He's just like everything you want in a guy.
But Lisa is a little too selfish.
Lisa's just selfish. You know, she doesn't care about anybody but herself. But, you know, he doesn't know this. But she tells her mother that Johnny hit her. Because she doesn't want to be with him anymore. She wants to break off the marriage. She just doesn't like him anymore. For whatever reason. So she tells her mother and a couple of different people that Johnny got drunk and hit her after she gave him a drink so that he could feel better about not getting his job promotion. He works hard. He's been going at this job promotion for years, and they've been dating for 7 years.
It's a long time.
So it's really just a sad moment in his life. But he has no idea. You know, he's such a nice guy the entire movie, and they really paint him out to be the good guy. So, Johnny is played by Tommy Wiseau. Mark is played by Greg Sestero, and Juliette Danielle plays Lisa. Oh yeah, Denny. So, in the movie The Room, there is a character named Denny whose relation to Tommy Wiseau's character Johnny and Lisa is never really explained.
Yeah.
You can assume it's more of a father-son relationship, even though he's not that much younger than them. It is revealed in the movie that Johnny's actually paying for Denny's college tuition. And it's not really clear whether he lives with them or not. It's not really clear who lives with them. But most of the movie takes place in a room. Now, in this room, multiple people come through. We got, Johnny, Lisa, Mark, of course. You have Denny.
Michael,
You have Michael and his girlfriend who
broke in and had sex on
they
the couch.
broke in and they have sex on their couch, just casually.
The mom.
Yeah, Lisa's mom. That's really it. There's no.
And Lisa's friend, too.
Oh, yeah, then there's Peter.
Yeah, Peter, the psychic. I know, psychic guy.
Yeah, so anyways, when John finds out that Lisa made up this lie about him hitting her, he's very upset. He walks upstairs to the roof where a lot of the movie also takes place in a fit of rage, screaming to himself that he didn't hit her. And, he's just pained in that moment, and, they do a really good job of, expressing his emotions, but when he sees his best friend Mark, everything changes. He's just happy, and he's okay to be with his friend. But Mark, he cuts conversations off with with John now. And he's just becoming more distant. Johnny feels like everybody in his life is betraying him. He doesn't really know what to do. And that's a sad part of the movie, but for some reason, Lisa's still staying with him. Everybody's encouraging her to tell Johnny that she cheated on him with Mark. They even get caught, her and Mark, cheating. And it's just disappointing that she never comes through and is able to fess up. In the last scene in the movie, one of the last scenes of the movie, I don't want to go there right now.
You don't want
No, we're gonna start with the psychologist.
it? Psychologist?
Yeah, so, Johnny, he starts talking to his psychologist friend, who's not really his psychologist, but just a friend. He talks to him about how he's feeling and how he feels about Lisa not loving him, and
His whole relationship
Mark
with everyone
is kind of
pretty
going
much.
downhill. He feels like he's done everything perfectly in his life, and everybody's just betraying him, and this is saddening. So, there's that scene. Mark comes in. They all start talking about woman problems.
Yeah.
Peter's able to infer that
Mark-
Lisa's cheating on Johnny with Mark,
Yeah.
but he doesn't tell him. But he's invited to a party, as are everybody in the cast. They're throwing a surprise party for Johnny's birthday for some reason. I don't know why Lisa's still doing this for him.
Yeah, she regrets it though. She said she didn't want him. She hates it.
Yeah.
She likes Mark and not
So,
him.
she actually cheats on Johnny with Mark while
Yeah.
she's throwing the surprise party. That's disappointing.
Ultimate bitch right there.
Yeah, for a surprise party for your future husband. He's a perfect guy. Done nothing wrong in his life. And he just feels like the world's crashing in on him. He catches her and Mark. He's upset. He gets a little angry. Then he hears a phone call between her and Mark while he's taking a shower. So in this phone call that Johnny hears when he's in the shower, Lisa says that she wants to go to Mark and she wants Johnny to forget about her. And Mark says, "Yeah, come over, baby. Leave that creep. I want your body."
It's kind of annoying how everyone betrayed John, even his best friend.
Yeah, Johnny hears this, and he thinks, my life is crashing in. Everybody that I cared and did everything I possibly could for is betraying me. My life is over. That's just a sad moment in the movie. She leaves. He has nothing left to do.
Gets mad. Throws everything around.
Yeah, he destroys his house. He reflects on all the good times he had with Lisa and all the bad times. Then he ends up committing suicide. And he's the nicest guy.
He did not deserve this.
He didn't deserve it. Out of all people, it should have happened to Lisa, not him. So, later on, they come back. We all get back to the house. And Lisa and Mark, of course, they find Johnny laying on the floor dead. And it's an emotional moment in the movie. They all start crying. But what pissed me off a little bit was that Lisa was crying like she knew she could have prevented it. She knew it was all her fault. And then she says, she has the nerve to say to Mark, "At least we're free to love each other now." It's like, you fucking did this. And people were warning her the whole movie. Yeah, you go.
It wasn't just like, oh, I didn't see this coming. People warned her. They said something bad would happen. You should just say it now so nothing bad happens. But it was all her fault. And even Dennis knows. He comes in. He sees John's dead body. He starts crying and says, "No, John can't be dead." And
Yeah, he loves John.
And Lisa tries comforting him, and he says, "Get away from me." Like he knows it's all her fault.
Yeah, he tells them to leave, Lisa and Mark. And Mark says to her, like, "Nobody's ever gonna want you. You're a tramp. I don't want you. You ruined him. You killed Johnny."
Yeah.
So that's pretty much the whole plot of the movie. Here, ambulance is coming. Everybody knows it's too late. The whole cast makes their way onto the shot.
Yeah.
That's it. Johnny dies. It's the end of the movie. That's all. So, overall, what do you think of this movie?
I thought it was a pretty good movie. Probably one of the best movies I've seen. It's always going to be one of my favorites.
This is definitely
I
my
highly
favorite
recommend
movie.
it.
Highly recommend it.
Although it probably wouldn't have been as good if Tommy Wiseau wasn't in it.
Yeah, it was out.
Yeah, it was Al. If he was not playing Johnny, would not have been as good. He did a fantastic job portraying Johnny in the movie.
Yeah, he really brought a lot of, like, forte and, just emotional movement to the character of Johnny. Something that nobody else could have possibly done in that role.
Yeah.
This movie there were just so many great things going on. The soundtrack was great.
Character development, spot on.
Honestly, the character development was impeccable. You feel like you know every single character.
It's like
in the
your own
movie.
family. I mean, if I was Johnny, I would pay for Denny's tuition too.
I would have paid for Denny's tuition right now.
Yeah.
You just know everybody. You know everything about all the characters. I think that was nice how they were able to do that.
Yeah.
It's something not a lot of movies can pull
And
off these days.
they made it so simple. Like every place you knew was like their house or their, like there was nowhere, like it was all pretty much one setting, the room. So
Yeah. Overall, I'm gonna give this movie 8.5 out of 10.
I'd give it a 9.
I'm giving it an 8.5 just for the fact that like, half the runtime is composed of sex scenes.
I feel that, yeah, first 9 minutes is all sex scenes.
Yeah. Also, like the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's my only. It's not a family-friendly movie. It's not something you want to watch with your 2-year-old. But
Highly recommend it anyway.
yeah, you can show it to other members of your family if you're prepared to watch the movie, because it does deal with a lot of controversial topics. If you're prepared to watch the movie, it's important. It's a cultural masterpiece. I consider myself lucky. I consider myself changed after watching that movie.
Yeah.
That's really all I gotta say.
I always think, what would Johnny do?
Such a good guy.
Never deserved
You
it.
can still see the emotional impact this movie's having on us. But anyways, if you like this review, if you agreed or not, let us know in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, click on the link in the description for new merch, and be sure to follow Takashi69 on Instagram. Peace.
Peace out.
Good shit.